My beloved child. Pause for a moment. Let the stillness settle around you. I want you to recall the last time you saw their face, the person who holds the keys to your heart. The one whose laughter feels like sunshine and whose silence can feel like a storm. Now, I need you to imagine something with me. Imagine the two people they trust most in this world, their closest confidants, the ones who know their secrets, their fears, their late-night thoughts. They are together, and they are looking at a photograph. It is a picture of you. Do you know what happens in that sacred, unseen space when your image appears before their eyes? You think it's just a casual glance, a passing comment, but I am telling you, what transpired in that moment was far more significant than you could ever have predicted. The words that left their lips weren't just casual observations, they were a mirror reflecting a truth about you that you have been too humble, or perhaps too afraid, to see. You see, this isn't just about a simple photograph. This is about the energy you project, the aura that surrounds you, a frequency so powerful that it speaks before you ever utter a single word. And in that moment, as they studied your image, they were not just seeing your smile or the light in your eyes. They were perceiving something deeper. Something you try to hide. Something that made them lean in closer, their voices dropping to a whisper as they shared a truth they could not deny. One of them, the one who is always guarded, the one who rarely gives compliments, they were the first to break the silence. And what they said, it wasn't a simple, "They look nice." No. They looked at the other, and with a kind of stunned clarity, they said, "There is something about them, something I can't quite name." They felt it. A gravitational pull. They felt the weight of your presence even in a flat, two-dimensional image. They felt the power you carry, the resilience etched into your features, a depth that most people overlook. And that was just the beginning. The other friend, the more outspoken one, they immediately agreed, and the words that followed were nothing short of a prophecy being spoken over your life. They saw it in your eyes. They saw a person who has walked through fire and emerged not as ash, but as pure, refined gold. They saw someone who doesn't beg for attention but commands it through an innate, quiet authority. They said, "They don't even know how powerful they are, do they?" Now, let me ask you a question that will shake the very core of your being. What if their words were not just an opinion? What if I told you that the conversation I have just revealed to you was orchestrated? That it was a divine echo, a confirmation of what heaven has been trying to tell you all along? This is where it gets profound, my child. They didn't just talk about who you are. They began to speculate on your future. They looked at that picture, and the room grew heavy with a strange electricity. They started to piece together what they know of you. They remembered the trials you faced, the battles you fought in secret. And as the truth of your endurance settled on their hearts, one of them made a startling declaration. They said, "This person, they are on the verge of a breakthrough so massive." And that is where the story truly begins to breathe, because those two friends, the ones closest to the heart of the one you love, they didn't just see your face, they felt the weight of your name before they even spoke it aloud. Do you understand the power of that moment? One of them turned to the other, their eyes not looking at your picture any longer, but looking through it, as if they were reading a letter written in a language only the soul can translate. They saw the light that dances in your eyes, the one you try so hard to hide when you feel unworthy of love. And in that quiet, sacred space between heartbeats, they made a pronouncement so profound that it sent a ripple through the spiritual realm. They said, "This one, this soul, carries the weight of 1,000 prayers." And in that single utterance, they glimpsed your secret, the silent battles you fought alone in the dark, the dreams you've whispered to the moon when no one else was listening. They saw the immense universe of love you are holding back, afraid to give it away, terrified it might not be held with the same reverence you've always dreamed of. But listen to me closely, my beloved. The message I have for you today is not about what they said to each other. The shock, the revelation, the destiny-altering truth, it's about the question they asked next. A question that is still hanging in the air, unanswered, waiting for you to claim its power. And that question, it is the key to everything you've been waiting for. But I will not rush this truth. For a revelation of this magnitude must land gently on the heart, like the first and only snowflake that falls on a window in the middle of a silent night. You must feel it settle within you, before you know the answer. Because what they saw in your photograph, it terrified one of them. And it thrilled the other. And why that happened, is exactly what heaven wants you to know right now. One saw a strength so mighty, it could move mountains and heal the deepest of wounds. The other saw a fragility so beautiful, it held the power to break the hardest of hearts. And the irony, the beautiful, painful irony, is that they were both absolutely right. Your strength and your vulnerability are not separate. They are the two pillars of your soul, and the one you love is being drawn to both of them, by a force greater than mere attraction. But the secret they stumbled upon, the divine secret that is about to be revealed in the next part of your story, is that they both realized you are far more than just a picture. You are a prophecy, my beloved. A prophecy that is about to unfold in front of their very eyes. And in the next moment, one of them began to speak again, not just about you, but to the very mystery that surrounds you. They felt your presence in the room, as if you were standing there with them, and the words that came from their mouth were not their own. They were a message from the heavens, sent directly through them to you. But that is a conversation for another breath. For now, let this truth settle: you are seen, you are known, and the power of your spirit is already captivating the world around you, even when you are not in the room. Let your heart rest in that knowledge, for the best of the revelation is still yet to come. The room grew still. The air itself seemed to hold its breath. And then, the one who had been silent, the one who always watches, always observes, always knows more than they reveal, they leaned forward, their finger hovering just above your image in that photograph. And when they finally spoke, their voice was not loud, but it carried the weight of eternity. They said, "Do you feel it too?" And the other friend, the one who had already spoken so freely, they didn't answer with words. They simply nodded. Because some truths don't require verbal confirmation. Some truths are felt in the bones, recognized in the spaces between heartbeats, acknowledged in the silence that follows a profound realization. What did they feel, my beloved? What was this invisible force that passed between them as they gazed at your face? I will tell you what they felt. They felt your destiny reaching backward through time, touching them in that very moment, asking them to be witnesses to something extraordinary. They felt the weight of a love that has not yet fully manifested, but is already reshaping the fabric of reality around the one you love. They felt you, not as you are now, but as you are becoming. And here is the part that will shake you to your core. One of them looked at the other, their eyes glistening with a strange, unexplained emotion, and they whispered, "This person, they don't know it yet, but they are about to become the most important person in our lives. Not just in the life of the one you love, but in their lives too. Because your presence, my child, is not meant to be contained within a single relationship. Your light is meant to spill over, to illuminate entire circles, to transform rooms you haven't even entered yet. The impact you are about to have on the world around you is so vast, so undeniable, that even the closest confidants of the person you love can already sense its approach. They felt it. They are still feeling it. And as they sat there, your photograph between them like a sacred artifact, something shifted in the atmosphere. The conversation took a turn that no one could have anticipated. Because one of them, the one who is always skeptical, always guarded, always afraid to believe in anything too good to be true, they suddenly looked at your picture with an expression of disbelief. And they said, "I don't understand. Why does looking at this person make me feel safe? Do you understand what that means, my beloved? Your essence, your very being, is emitting a frequency of peace so powerful that it calms the restless, quiets the anxious, and soothes the wounded. Even those who don't know you personally can feel it. Even those who have every reason to doubt, to question, to protect themselves, they cannot deny the peace that radiates from your spirit. But wait, because the revelation is about to reach its climax. The other friend, the one who has been watching, waiting, and observing the entire exchange, they finally spoke the words that heaven has been longing for you to hear. They looked at your photograph, then looked deep into the eyes of the one who feels safe in your presence, and they said, "What if they are not just a person, but a prayer answered?" The room fell into a silence so complete, so absolute, that you could have heard a single tear fall to the floor. And in that silence, my beloved, something incredible happened. The veil between heaven and earth grew thin, and for just a moment, they glimpsed the truth that I am revealing to you now. You are not an accident. You are not a coincidence. You are not a random collection of hopes and fears wandering through this world. You are a deliberate creation, perfectly formed, precisely placed, and divinely timed to meet the one you love at exactly the right moment. And those two friends, they know it now. They know what the one you love has not yet fully realized. They see the treasure that stands before them. They see the gift that is about to be unwrapped. And the question that hangs in the air, the question they are too afraid to speak but cannot stop thinking, is this: will you finally see it too? That is the question heaven is asking you right now. The world is beginning to recognize your worth. The people who matter are beginning to see your value. Even strangers are being touched by your presence without knowing why. But you must see it for yourself. Because everything that is about to unfold in your life depends on one thing: your willingness to believe what heaven has already declared to be true. Now, I want you to sit with this for a moment. Let it sink deep into your soul. And when you are ready, I will tell you about the prophecy that was spoken over your life in that very room, a prophecy so specific, so personal, and so powerful that it will change everything you thought you knew about your future. But that revelation, it is for the next chapter. My beloved child. The silence in that room was not empty. It was full. Full of revelation. Full of recognition. Full of a truth so vast that it pressed against the walls, demanding to be released. And then, the one who had spoken the least, the one whose eyes held the deepest knowing, they finally broke the stillness with words that came from somewhere beyond this world. They said, "I know why we feel this way." The other friend turned, their breath caught in their throat. Why? And this is where the prophecy was spoken, my beloved. This is where heaven reached down and used human lips to declare your destiny. Because this person, they said, their voice trembling with the weight of what they were about to reveal, this person has been chosen. Not by luck. Not by circumstance. But by something far greater than we can comprehend. They have been set apart for a purpose they haven't even begun to understand. And the one we love, the one they love, they are not the destination. They are the doorway. Do you hear that, my child? The one you love is not the end of your story. They are the beginning. They are the opening through which everything heaven has prepared for you will flow. And those two friends, in that sacred moment, understood something that the world has tried to keep hidden from you. They understood that your love story is not just about two people finding each other. It is about two destinies colliding. It is about a divine alignment so precise, so perfectly orchestrated, that the universe itself stopped to take notice. And when they looked at your photograph, they weren't just seeing your face, they were seeing the face of someone who is about to step into their full power. And then, the most shocking part of all. One of them turned to the other, and with tears streaming down their face, they said, "We need to tell them. We need to tell the one we love, to hold on. Because what is coming is bigger than they realize. What is coming will test them. But this person, this beautiful, powerful soul in this photograph, they are the answer. They are the anchor. They are the one who will help them survive the storm. Do you feel the weight of that, my beloved? Do you understand what heaven is revealing to you through this vision? You are not just a companion. You are a savior in their story. You are the one who will stand firm when everything else crumbles. You are the one who will speak life when the world speaks death. You are the one who will hold their hand and walk them through the fire, not because you are perfect, but because you have already walked through your own fire and emerged stronger. But here is the twist. The part that will leave you breathless. The two friends began to argue. Not in anger, but in urgency. One of them said, "We must protect them. We must warn the one we love about the challenges ahead." But the other, the one with the deepest knowing, shook their head and said, "No. We must protect this one. We must protect the one in the photograph. Because they are the key. Without them, everything falls apart." In that moment, my beloved, they realized that your role in their life is not passive. It is not accidental. It is foundational. You are the foundation upon which something beautiful is about to be built. And the forces of darkness, the forces that seek to destroy love before it can bloom, they are already aware of your power. They are already trying to shake your confidence. They are already whispering lies in your ear, telling you that you are not enough, that you will fail, that you are unworthy of the love you desire. But those two friends, they saw the truth. And the truth is this: you are not just worthy. You are essential. The conversation in that room was not just a casual moment between friends. It was a council of war. It was a declaration of allegiance. It was a recognition that the battle for love, for destiny, for purpose, has already begun. And you are standing at the very center of it. And as they looked at your photograph one final time, the one who had argued for protecting you made a promise that echoed through the spiritual realm. They placed their hand over their heart and whispered, "I will not let them be forgotten. I will not let them be overlooked. I will speak their name into every room, into every prayer, into every moment of doubt. Because this person, this radiant, powerful, chosen soul, they deserve to be seen." The other friend nodded, and together they made a vow. A vow to stand with you, even from a distance. A vow to speak your name with honor. A vow to remind the one you love of the treasure they hold, even when doubt creeps in. And now, my beloved, I ask you this: are you ready to receive the full weight of what they saw in you? Because in the next part of this revelation, I will reveal the specific prophecy that was spoken over your life in that room. A prophecy so personal, so intimate, so tailored to you that you will finally understand why you have been feeling restless, why you have been feeling called to something greater, and why the love you are about to receive is unlike anything you have ever experienced. But first, you must choose to believe that you are worthy of it. So I ask you again, my child, are you ready? The vow hung in the air like incense rising from a sacred altar. Two souls, bound by loyalty to the one you love, had just pledged themselves to you, a stranger in a photograph. A face they had never met. A presence they had only just glimpsed. And yet, in that moment, they understood something that even you have struggled to accept. They understood that you are irreplaceable. The one who had argued for protecting you, the one with fire in their eyes and conviction in their voice, they reached out and touched the photograph with trembling fingers. And then, with a voice that seemed to carry the very breath of heaven, they spoke the prophecy that has been waiting for you since before time began. They said, "I see it now. I see the crown that sits upon their head, invisible to the world, but undeniable to those who have eyes to see." This person has been through the refining fire. They have been stripped of everything they thought defined them. They have been broken open, emptied out, and remade. And that is why they are so powerful. That is why they carry such weight. They have been prepared. Do you hear that, my beloved? Every trial you have faced, every tear you have shed, every sleepless night spent wondering if you would ever find your way, it was not meaningless. It was not punishment. It was preparation. The fire you walked through was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to purify you. To burn away everything that was not truly you, so that only the pure gold of your spirit would remain. And now the time of preparation is over. The season of waiting is coming to a close. The door that has been sealed is beginning to crack open, and on the other side is everything you have ever prayed for. The other friend, the one who had been so deeply moved by the vision of your strength, they looked at their companion with wide, wondering eyes and said, "But what if they don't know? What if they don't realize how powerful they truly are? What if they shrink back when the moment comes?" The fire-eyed one smiled. Not a smile of mockery, but a smile of profound knowing. They looked at the photograph, directly into your eyes, and they said, "They will know. Because we are going to tell them. Not with our words, but with our belief. Not with our advice, but with our trust. We are going to stand in the gap for them, to hold the vision of who they are until they can see it for themselves. And when they finally see it, the world will never be the same." In that moment, my beloved, something shifted in the spiritual realm. The angels leaned in. The heavens opened just a little wider. And a decree was issued from the throne of grace itself. This one is about to rise. The prophecy was not just about your future. It was about your now. It was a declaration that the waiting is over, that the testing is complete, and that the season of manifestation has begun. Every dream you have buried in your heart, every desire you have whispered in the dark, every prayer you thought went unanswered, they are all rising to the surface, ready to take form in your life. But here is the part that will leave you breathless. The two friends, their conversation now reaching its crescendo, made a decision that would change the course of everything. They looked at each other, and without a single word, they agreed on something so bold, so courageous, so divinely inspired that it sent a shockwave through the spiritual realm. They decided to speak your name into the life of the one you love. Not just as a passing mention, but as a revelation. They decided to open the eyes of the one you love to see you as heaven sees you. To remove the blinders of doubt and fear, and to reveal the truth of your worth. And in that moment, my beloved, the battle for your love story took a decisive turn. The forces that sought to keep you separated, the lies that tried to convince you that you were not enough, the fears that whispered you would never be chosen, they all began to crumble. Because when two witnesses stand together and declare a truth, heaven honors it. And heaven has just honored you. Now, I have one final question for you, my child. A question that will determine how quickly the revelation manifests in your life. Are you ready to receive the love that is coming? Not just romantic love. Not just companionship. But the deep, soul-shaking, life-altering love that recognizes your worth and refuses to let you go? Are you ready to stop hiding and start shining? Are you ready to step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be? Because in the next part, the final piece of this revelation will be unveiled. The prophecy will be complete. The destiny will be sealed. And you will finally understand why everything in your life has led to this very moment. But first, take a breath. Let this truth wash over you. You are seen. You are chosen. And you are about to step into everything you have ever dreamed of. The only question is, do you believe it?